So we're now in a neighborhood where many businesses revolve around prostitution, and when you walk around you don't really notice it until you notice it, and then you see that it's almost everywhere. Well, this neighborhood is also known for a place where the boys of BTS started their careers, and also where Baek Jong-won, the famous super chef, started his first business. Yes, we are in Nonhyeon-dong. Let's do this.
For this neighborhood, I invited two special guests. We have Kelly, born and raised in Gangnam, and Ryongssaem, a YouTuber and hairdresser in Nonhyeon-dong.
안녕하세요. 너무 좋습니다. Wow.
He works in one of the many hair salons, and you will discover why that's important for today's story. But first, let's explore the neighborhood.
The red model bar.
Do you notice the sign silhouette is male?
Uh-huh.
This is for, it's a host bar.
Okay.
You can call the street as Baek Jong-won Street. It used to be.
Oh, is this the Baek Jong-won street
Yes.
already? So Baek Jong-won is a really famous chef in Korea. Turn on any channel on TV and there's like a 50% chance you will see his face somewhere.
We used to go to the same gym 10 plus years ago.
Was he already famous then? Yeah, right?
Yes, he was popular. He was really fit. In real life,
Uh-huh.
he's not like that chubby. He's
Oh,
like
really?
fit and yeah.
Did you talk to him in the gym?
Oh,
No?
no. I honestly think that's just a different culture in Gangnam or Seocho. When you see celebrity, you don't really like go and talk to them.
It's quite common to
you
see
don't really
celebrities.
bother them. So this was a Hanshin-pocha area.
No way, this new building here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
여기가 원래 한식포차였어요. 제일 유명한 호의 오리지널 헌팅 포차. 24시간 하는 파리바게뜨. 전국에 몇 군데 없어요. 케이크를 항상 필요하면 일로 오시면 돼요. 새벽에도 항상 케이크 있어요. 저기서부터 저 끝까지가 논현동 먹자골목이거든요. 지금은 조금 줄었는데 옛날에는 엄청 성행했어요. 왜냐면 아가씨 선수도 많고 일반인들도 많고 여기가 물이 좋으니까 기본적으로 아가씨 선수가 물을 올려놓으니까. 근데 여기가 원래 백종원 가게가 7, 8개가 있었어요.
오.
근데 백종원 선생님께서 한순간 다 뺐어요. 이거 마저 철수하셨어요. 맨 마지막으로.
Too bad, there's not much left of Baek Jong-won. Faded out.
The first Hanshin Pocha, established by Baek Jong-won, is no more. All I could find was this PAB Ban Cafe. There's no doubt that this food street will come to life during the night, but for now let's leave it as it is and go to the nearby Yeongdong traditional market.
아, 좋아. 이거 멋있어요.
괜찮아요?
네네네.
멋있어요.
여기 이 동네 어때요? 살기 어때요?
뭐 괜찮아요 그런 대로.
네, 근데 전통시장 갑자기 늘었어요. 강남에서 이런 시장 있는지 몰랐어요.
그렇죠. 옛날에 이쪽에 영동시장이라고 있었고 주변으로 해서 영동시장 그거 본 거는 없어졌고 건물은 그 주변으로 이제 전통시장이 형성된 거죠. 영동 전통시장.
분위기 좋지.
그렇게
그냥.
워낙 현수한데 갖고 그래요.
네, 좋은 하루 되세요. 이 가게 오래됐나요?
지금은 예 37년째
37. 그때는 강남 없었어요.
강남 있었어.
근데 이
강남 개발지.
비싼 건물, 비싼 운전자 다 많이 없었어요 그때는.
예예 많이
네.
없었어.
So it's so cool, guys, that there's like a market like this still here in Gangnam, which you wouldn't expect. Traditional market. A lot of old stores. All the sajagims are far over 60 years old. So the market, which is now there, used to be in this building here in front of us.
It's kind of refreshing to find an alley-style market with a history dating back to 1973. That makes the market over 50 years old, but it reopened in 2016. I mean, it's Gangnam, right? On our way to the market, all we saw were luxurious cars. More than I would have seen anywhere else in Seoul.
Oh, I love the blue tiles.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
목욕탕 style.
그러니까, it's like, it reminds me of a sauna. 이거 옛날 건물이에요. 빨빨. So that was the traditional market, and now we're going to the Gagokori, and from there we go to an area where BTS, the members of BTS, all the boys started their careers. But how would you say Nonhyeon-dong is different from other areas in Gangnam?
It always had a feeling of we're the least fancy Gangnam neighborhood. I mean,
Okay.
you looked at it. The traditional market's right there.
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't scream out department store, fancy stores.
No, it doesn't really.
강남 여기는 논현동뿐만 아니라 신사동, 압구정 뭐 이런 다 포함해서 늦게까지 하는 가게들이 많아요. 맛있는. 원래 보통 맛집들은 일찍 문 닫잖아요.
저 조사했을 때 아침에도 술 마시는 사람들 많이
많아요. 여기 많아요. 아침에 눈치 안 보고 먹을 수 있는 곳이 많아요. 근데 우리 일반 동네에서 눈치 안 보고 술 먹으면 저 자식 저거 뭐 하는 놈이야 저거 여기인데 여기는 그런 거 눈치 안 보고 먹을 수 있는 곳이 많아요.
My first impression agrees, but this was just the first block. Where we are going next is the richer part of Nonhyeon. On our way, we walk over the famous furniture street that came into the world during the big Gangnam development boom. I heard it started out with mainly classical domestic furniture companies. Now with the new Gangnam wealth, shops focus more on brands specializing in imported furniture. From the looks of it, you need deep pockets.
There's a little green spot somewhere in Nonhyeon-dong, Nonhyeon-dong, which is called Gangnam, and part of the park is military area.
Geographically, this is the highest point in almost middle of Gangnam. So they had to build something. It makes perfect sense.
Of Gangnam.
Because think about it, there's a river, there's Namsan, but this is really high point in the middle of Gangnam.
여기 학동공원 맞아요? 여기 BTS 많이 나왔던 공원이에요? BTS.
그 아이들 학동공원이에요.
아 그래요? 여기 BTS 봤어요? 안 봤어요? So guys, we're in Hakdong-gongwon. This is where the place where the boys have practiced a lot when they were young, when they were a trainee still. I always imagine, because now today BTS is still alive, but later when they pass away, they become some kind of legend. Years later, people still talk about them because their fan base is just huge. So a place like this, even though it already is some kind of pilgrimage, it will be more of a pilgrimage, like Elvis' former house. Or so this is, I think, the swing where they sat. There's a photo online. Please protect the children's space. Oh. The army fans ruined it. You ruined it.
We are not done with BTS just yet. Not far from the park is where it all began, at the old Big Hit Entertainment building. Today, BTS needs no introduction, but like all K-pop groups, they too started with a humble beginning. Right here.
It's so crazy to see how many people have written something here on the wall. All these fans from all over the world coming here. It is truly a pilgrimage, and I guess the Mecca for armies. Jeez, wow.
They should like the place should just take like 1,000원 for each sign.
Yeah. So we're now on top of the rooftop of Big Hit Entertainment. Well, former Big Hit Entertainment building. This is what the BTS fans don't know. Do I see it? Oh, there.
Aiden Cheongdam Hotel, that's
Yes.
by Best Western.
Uh-huh.
But it's called Cheongdam Hotel, but district-wise they're actually in Nonhyeon-dong. But they don't want to say Nonhyeon Hotel.
But that's interesting. And according to you, there are actually many companies like, what's that entertainment company called?
Antenna?
Antenna. They also say we're in Gangnam, not
Yeah,
in Nonhyeon-dong.
Yeah.
뉴욕의 변두리에 엄청 살짝 먼 돈 살면서 어디 가서 나 뉴욕 살아. 이런 느낌 아닐까요?
플렉싱 좀
그렇죠. 약간 네임드가 강남에 포함되는 게 훨씬 낫지 논현동이라고 하는 것보다. 논현동이 블럭이 큰 게 4개거든요. 여기는 하나의 블럭인데 나머지 3블럭들은 잘 사는 동네예요.
건물도 크고
근데
모자도
전원주택같이 타운하우스 같이 저기 건너편 블럭이나 이 뒷블럭도 좋은 아파트들이 있거든요. 젊은 친구들이 논현동 산다 그러지 않고 강남 산다 그러는 거지. 저도 그랬거든요. 어렸을 땐 저도 그랬거든요. 근데 그쪽 분들은 또 다른 사정일 거예요. 그런 분들은 다 강남 산다, 논현동 산다 하실 거예요. 이효리도 여기 살았고 연예인들도 많이 살았거든요.
Is this a house?
That's a huge CCTV.
Wow, yeah, it is.
This is Lee Myung-bak's house. Yeah, he's an ex-president. He went to the jail and got out.
It was pardoned, right? It's gonna be the thumbnail, hey. Kelly breaking in president's house.
Light on.
Oh, it's the light on?
Oh.
Apparently, they're still security active. Well, the neighborhood didn't always look like this. It used to be small villages, Nonhyeon-ri and Hak-ri. Villages surrounded by hills, hence the name Non. Rice paddies and Hyun, hill. The Rees became dongs, and then Hakdong was absorbed by Nonhyeon-dong.
But you will still see a lot of Hakdong written everywhere. It's like the people don't want to give up the name of their old neighborhood.
Hakdong-do.
Yeah, Hakdong-ro.
Yeah.
So how would you say Nonhyeon-dong, Il-dong and I-dong are different from each other?
Nonhyeon-il-dong is more like eating, restaurant going out. Nonhyeon-il-dong is more residential, more upscale, more design.
But I do feel that the dominant image of Nonhyeon-dong is going to be Il-dong.
Yeah,
More
I
than
guess,
I-dong.
Yes, because Nonhyeon-dong wants to be Cheongdam-dong. They
Right.
want to be like Apgujeong-dong.
Oh, they want to separate from...
Because the hotel was in Nonhyeon.
yeah, right.
Cheongdam.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would actually think that's the Cheongdam area or Apgujeong area.
Nonhyeon-il-dong feels different because of the many entertainment companies, wedding halls, model agencies and the one and only middle school. Yes, there's only one such school in the entire Nonhyeon neighborhood. Yet, its image lives in the shadow of Il-dong, where we started this video and where we slowly walk back to.
So we're now in front of what used to be Octagon, one of the most famous clubs, I believe even in Asia. That was quite
they
a
ranked pretty high.
well-known club, ranked high, has turned into perfect and karaoke.
Yeah.
The club is no more. And recently, the street in front has become the place of a tragic incident. A drunk DJ hit a motorbike and killed the driver. It happened the same day when I filmed Octagon. Bakery Cafe Hyuga, another BTS location where the boys used to live, is not too far from the club. And I started to understand why Nonhyeon is the Mecca for army fans. But unlike the other places, this one is in the part where an interesting microeconomy is going on. One that blew my mind.
If you walk through this neighborhood, you think it's just a neighborhood. But then when you start looking more carefully at all the shops, you notice that a lot of them are 24/7, open 24/7. And we talk about clothes stores, we talk about hair salons, nail salons, clothes rentals, usually high-end brands. And then you wonder, who would like to do their nails at 4 in the morning?
And that's why I invited Ryongssaem to the video. Many of his hair salon customers work in the night industry. We refer to the women as agashi and the men as sonsu. He will explain how this block of Nonhyeon revolves around the night industry. I noticed something was happening, but I couldn't tell what exactly.
논현동에서 한 13년차 미용하고 있는 사람인데 되게 흥미로운 동네긴 한데 여기 이제 밤일 하시는 분들도 많지만 오해하면 안 되는 게 90% 이상이 일반인이다. 하지만 이제 밤일 하시는 분들이 많이 활동하기 때문에 좀 색다르게 좀 형성된 동네거든요. 그래서 제가 한번 아는 데까지만 편하게 한번 소개해 드릴게요.
좋습니다.
왜 논현동에 아가씨 선수가 많냐면 여러분들 눈에는 안 보이겠지만 이 블럭에 술집이랑 이런 것들이 지하에 많아요.
네.
큰 것들이 이 논현동을 주위에 감싸가지고 이 바깥쪽까지 뭐 선릉까지 술집들이 조금씩 붙어 있어요.
오기 전에 이런 세계 그 밤 산업 세계 있는지 알았었어요 그때는?
몰랐어요.
몰랐어요.
이 정도인지는 몰랐어요.
알게 됐을 때 어떻게 기분이 어땠어요?
아 그때 무서웠죠. 무서웠죠. 왜냐하면 전혀 모르는 일들에서 일어나는 사람들이 머리를 하니까 무서웠죠. 근데 지금은 너무 친근하고 너무 좋은 사람들도 많고 재밌어요.
Another thing I noticed was the many lighters in front of the hair salon.
이건 다 불법이에요. 콜 같은 건 다 불법이에요. 불법 택시. 그러니까 원래 우버도 한국에서 불법이잖아요.
네.
그런 거예요. 법적으로 허용을 안 했는데 여기서는 공공연하게 타고 다니는. 이분들은 그냥 되게 바빠요. 그래서 잘 서 있지 않고 계속 돌아다녀요.
너무 신기해요. 여기 그 카페 앞에 완전 비싼 차 많아요.
아 그거는 이제 논팽이들.
논팽이? 논팽이 뭐?
이 커피숍에 아까 커피숍에 막 좋은 차들 많이 서 있다 했잖아요.
네.
뭐 사업하시는 분들도 있고 그냥 또 시간 많으신 분들도 있고.
여기 사람 많이 죽었어요 아니야? 교통.
아 신경 안 쓰면 돼요. 다 피해가요. 사고 안 나요. 그런 거예요. 베트남이나 방콕 막 그런 데 가면은 오막 이런 데서.
네네네. 그냥 가요.
It is really 복잡해요, right?
Yeah.
Why? It's like crazy how many cars and people and scooters. And...
그리고 이제 다 미용실이에요. 여기서부터 저 안쪽에서부터 저 끝까지 뷰티 거리라고 미용실 다 미용실이에요. 아마 전국에서 가장 미용실 밀도가 높을 거예요. 네덜란드도 그런 사람들이 모여 있는 곳이 있나요?
많아요.
많은데 이렇게 논현동처럼 뭉쳐 있진 않나요?
아니 달아요. 우리 Red Light District라고 하는데 이거 문 앞에 여자 볼 수 있어요.
그것도 한국에도 있었잖아요.
네네. 근데 여기 달아요.
여긴 달라요. 여긴
네.
달라요. 여기 문화가 한국 그러니까 외국이랑 틀린 게 한국 사람들은 더 예쁘고 더 멋있고 그 다음에 더 합리적으로 꾸미고 빠르게 꾸미고 빨리빨리 좋아하잖아요. 그러니까 모든 게 모일 수밖에 없는 문화인 것 같아요. 그러니까 렌탈샵도 여기 있고 미용실도 바로 1층에 있고 내 직장도 이 근처에 있고
네.
내 집도 여기 있고 모든 이동 거리가 한 블럭에서 끝난다면 가장 합리적으로 돈 버는 거잖아요.
네.
돈 쓰는 것도 근처에 있고 택시비로 10,000원 내외?
네.
10,000원 내외 다 있어요.
근데 나 사람 여기 다 준비하고 일 조금 멀리.
아니요, 많이 근처에.
근처에?
근처에. 여러분들 눈에는 안 보이지만
네.
그냥 길 가다가 다 있어요.
네.
그리고 여기 옛날에는 여기 밖에 있는 호텔 아시죠?
예.
호텔 지하에도 술집이 많았어요. 술집이
오케이.
되게 대형이에요, 대형.
네.
종사자분들이 200~300명씩 있으니까.
I felt that this neighborhood was like no other. And without Kelly and Ryongssaem, my image would have been purely a generalization from what I read on the internet. As Ryongssaem said, this neighborhood is only 10% related to the night industry. Other parts of Seoul, maybe 1% or ish. So it's a small neighborhood, but relatively speaking, it's big. Maybe more visual too, because it's normal here and people won't receive the noon cheap because it's just what it is here. It's also cheaper to live in compared to other areas in Gangnam, and renting smaller spaces is popular. Now, Nonhyeon is big and all 4 blocks are quite different from each other. But after talking to Kelly and Ryongssaem, in my opinion, it's the block with the hair salons that somehow dominates the image. The block with the world's oldest profession, as the expression goes.
Okay guys, that was it. Nonhyeon-dong. It was a very interesting neighborhood. Unique, one of a kind. 나와 주셔서 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 이거는
Okay.
고생하셨습니다.
See you in the next neighborhood. 하루.
Bye.